Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about a video I did recently on who gets it first. We talked about some of these politicians and propagandists and people who try to lord themselves over others are usually the first people to go in a collapse. When things go bad, when things just spiral down the drain, kind of like what you're seeing right now today in our country. Those are the people who usually get it first. Not always. Now, the higher-ups, the super high-ups, people who run the countries, like presidents and kings and queens and prime ministers, they usually have the money and the bodyguards to whisk them away to some haven where they can forever live out their days with whatever money they have or whatever money they ferried out of the country. Usually. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes they get it too. Those of them who wish to go down with the ship usually go down with the ship. Anyway, but a lot of times throughout history, they escape. But it's the underlings, the mid-level and upper-level bureaucrats, not the very high, top, but the mid to upper-level bureaucrats usually get, that's it. Yeah, they're gone. All this to say, I really, really enjoyed watching last night's primary results with Liz Cheney out the door. Makes me happy. Have you heard all the celebratory gunfire going on? It's everywhere. Oh, goodbye, Liz. Let the door hit you on the way out. And a lot of these articles I'm reading about this whole primary event in Wyoming, I'm enjoying the comments just as much as I'm enjoying the articles of seeing Liz go. The comments are just outstanding. So this is usually how I vote today. I mean, I just go to Pelosi. I go to Nancy, Who do you hate today? Oh, huh? Mm-hmm. Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, that person too. Okay. That's who I'm voting for. I'm voting for whoever Nancy Pelosi hates. Because usually that's a right path to go down. That's kind of how I do my voting these days. Those who hate me love death. So she loves death. I think most of the people she hates probably are pretty good. Anyway, all that to say, I'm enjoying the news. And about this video I posted up the other day, I wanted to, because the comments really are where the entertainment is. Yes, the videos sometimes can be entertaining, but if you watch an entertaining video, chances are the comments of such an entertaining video are going to be even more entertaining. And so I love going through the comments and reading what people say about certain things and just hearing what they have. And there was a number of quotes that people attributed to what's going on right now in our country, of things that have happened in the past. And I am a huge fan of quotes. I love quotes. I have memorized quotes from William Shakespeare, George Patton, Mark Twain, Lord Byron, P.J. O'Rourke, Robert Heinlein, Rudyard Kipling. I love memorizing quotes, famous quotes, and I love reading books by these famous people because it gives you, a better insight into their lives and the things that they experienced. And so it's just power is knowledge, right? Or knowledge is power. And so I'm going through and reading these comments, and I'm seeing a lot of quotes that are very appropriate for the days and times that we're living in. Let's go through some of them. Now, this one was posted by a number of people in the comments. A number of people actually posted the same thing or something similar. It was the quote by William Shakespeare, "First, kill all the lawyers." And this comes from his play, Henry VI, where a bunch of guys are standing around trying to figure out how to fix the country in the play. And one of the guys says, well, the first thing we do is we kill all the lawyers. And this has become one of William Shakespeare's most famous quotes from one of his plays. And a number of you posted this in the comments below of that video that I posted the other day. Again, very appropriate. Yes, usually it's the lawyers. And if you don't know, most politicians are, in fact, lawyers. Most. This is one of the reasons why so many people, I think, like Donald Trump, is because he's not a lawyer. And it's one of the reasons why the establishment hated him so much, is because he did not come up the ranks the same way all these others came up the ranks. He was not a lawyer. Okay, he didn't think like a lawyer. He never went to law school, and so he was not in the club. I mean, he's a country club Republican like all these other guys are, but why? Why do they not like him? He's not a lawyer. He's not he's not cut from the same cloth that they are. And so, yeah, a lot of you guys posted that comment. Well done. You are on the right line of thinking. First, we kill all the lawyers. How much better of a world would we be in if all the lawyers were dead? Okay, now, next one. There is no man more dangerous than he who has had everything taken from him. Now, this is a famous quote. A lot of people have said something, sort of saying similar to this throughout history. But the one that immediately comes to my mind when I read this, there is no man more dangerous than he who has had everything taken from him, is a guy named Marvin Heemeyer. Marvin Heemeyer. If you don't know who Marvin Heemeyer is, you should read about him sometime. He is the guy who took that giant bulldozer strapped a bunch of steel plates on it, and had some gun ports, for his 30-06 or 308 or whatever it was, hunting rifle. And he basically decided to mow down his town because they had zoned him out of business. They had zoned him out of his home or whatever it was. And they basically took everything from him. And he says, well, if this is the way it's going to be, I have nothing left to live for. I don't care. I'm going to take out the town. And so he basically welded a bunch of steel plates on his bulldozer, took out the town hall, took out the police station, took out a bunch of other buildings inside the town, along with companies who stood against him, in the zoning regulations in order to get rid of him. And he was a man who had nothing else better to live for. And he actually said that, if you go to his Wikipedia page, he said, I was always willing to be reasonable until I had to be unreasonable, he wrote. Sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things. Exactly. And that's why we see that quote. It reminds me of that quote. There is no man more dangerous than he who has had everything taken from him. And Marvin Heemeyer had everything taken from him. What else was there to live for? He's like, if this is the way it's going to be, well, then this is the way it will be. Great quote. Thanks for putting that in there. The other one, too, another one, it also reminds me of a quote of a certain person, and someone else posted that in. It got a lot, 287 likes. I hearted it, of course. And it's this one by Peter. Peter posted this. The most terrifying force of death comes from the hands of men who wanted to be left alone. They try so very hard to mind their own business and provide for themselves and those they love. They resist every impulse to fight back, knowing the forced and permanent change of life that will come from it. They know that the moment they fight back, their lives as they have lived them are over. The moment the men who wanted to be left alone are forced to fight back, it is a form of suicide. They are literally killing off who they used to be, which is why, when forced to take up violence, these men who wanted to be left alone fight with unholy vengeance against those who murdered their former lives. They fight with raw hate and a drive that cannot be fathomed by those who are merely play acting at politics and terror. The true terror will arrive at these people's doors, and they will cry, scream, and beg for mercy, but it will fall upon the deaf ears of the men who just wanted to be left alone. So powerful of a quote. And Peter did not say this. I appreciate you, Peter, posting it, but it was a guy by the name of Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Alexander Solzhenitsyn. He was Russian. He was a critic of what's the guy? Stalin. And Stalin put him in a gulag for a number of years. And when Nikita Khrushchev came to power, he he rolled back some of Stalin's rules, and so they let him out. And he became a very famous, outspoken critic against communism in Russia. And Alexander Solzhenitsyn, he wrote the book, The Gulag Archipelago. I highly recommend it. I've not read it. I just put it on my Amazon list, so I really can't highly recommend it. I've read a lot of Alexander Solzhenitsyn's stuff out there in the past, but I've never read the Gulag Archipelago. But I just put it on my Amazon list. I'm going to get that because I can't believe I haven't read that book yet. It's been something on my list that I've wanted to do for years. And Peter, your comment put a fire under my butt to go ahead and get that done because I think it's a good book to read. I think it would be a good book to read, based on everything else I've heard about Alexander Solzhenitsyn. So anyway, great comment. Thanks, Peter. I appreciate that. The one other comment I want to point out too is that was in that video that I did about all these people who get it first. I agree with your perspective on history. Marie Antoinette once said, "Let them eat cake." We all know what happened to her. Case in point of someone very high up, basically the Dauphin, the Queen of France, and she is dead, guillotined, because she said, the people, let them eat cake. Okay, noted. So there you go. Lots of, it's just the way it is. When you have a really good video that's entertaining, and I think that was entertaining by reading a lot of the comments that you guys posted. What's even more entertaining are the comments from you guys. So I was really entertained by your feedback and so many others who left comments on that video. It's got over 73,000 views on it, which is not, by some YouTube standards, is not a lot. But for me, a little channel like me, 73,000 views is pretty good. I'm going to take note and read the comments and read your feedback, and I really was entertained by what you guys thought. So thank you so much for that. I know it says a lot of people subscribed when they saw that video, so I hope I can keep earning your subscription. Thank you on that. Hey, listen, if you're interested in our Teespring merchandise, Stupid Should Hurt. If this world had a lot more hurt, there'd be a lot less stupid. You can find links in the description below for our Teespring store. Check that out, and you can buy whatever you want to get. There's all kinds of other shirts. Common Sense isn't so common anymore. The Farm Fresh Butt Nuggets and Farm Hair Don't Care. So many other great shirts. Check them out. A link in the description below. I really appreciate it. And then leave a comment below. Let me know what your favorite quote is. I want to know what if you memorized a quote. Again, Rudyard Kipling, Mark Twain, so many great people out there. What was Mark Twain's favorite one? I think it goes like this. I imagine him smoking a pipe. And he says, suppose you were a member of Congress. And suppose you were an idiot. Oh, but I repeat myself. I love Mark Twain. Okay, all right, we'll leave it at that. See you next time on the Homestead. Bye.
Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.